There you are. Your kingdom awaits within. And all the rot that comes with it. Now we're square, me and you. If you find Darak, tell him Rattigan sends his love.
Okay.
You're sick. All of you. Try and stop me. Keep me from Nora. But I'll save her. Protect her from you.
Oh.
Told us that a company might do this as a tactic or a common tactic to reduce the tax profits in one entity by extracting them as cost to that entity's expense from the purchasing of higher cost goods, moving that money, the profit, into the other entity, which is taxed by the region, or where they might have different debts and expenses with which they can mark those profits against to try and further reconcile and reduce taxable income. Again, an attorney told us is a possible tactic depending on the region in which all of this is happening.
Bro, this is some kind of fucking... What's up, Emily? This is some fucking human centipede shit. It is. It's so obviously exploited. What are you doing?
Traitors!
It is! No, it is!
A contract with its own personnel, and they promised staff a commission.
Devs need to patch this? They do, it's ridiculous.
But they annexed those parts of the contract by claiming that they probably should be changed. There was some consideration offered in exchange for annexing those, but given the power position of UK and the precipitous or teetering position of potential staff members, they're opting to refuse and be fired, or take the change and get less money for commission.
Yeah, because you got to remember, again, a lot of these employees don't have any resources. So it's like, if they stop working, the chances of them getting their money back that they earned is like, let's say 50% or 20%. But if they don't work, then it's zero. And that's the shit they're playing in their mind. I think that's what's happening.
Perhaps they have navigated that situation. Again, we have documentation for all of that. But let's talk more about what's going on at UK and if it can change or rectify any of this. For UK's part, HQ's actions speak louder than its words. In February of 2024, just a few months ago, I received a message from our friend Leo, Guru, which is an expert here, and he asked me if I heard of layoffs at the time. I hadn't, no. But he was onto something, because we've now more recently found that the company sacked its CEO around that time, it appears, sometime early this year or maybe late last year.
Oh boy.
That was Falstead Darak, who was put in place by founder and namesake Eddie Koenig. The CEO was put in place to handle the finances, the business administration side of the business. From what we understand, that was not an aspect that Koenig wanted to handle. In February, Kurtz was removed and Koenig assumed intermediary responsibility for the business administration, we understand. And we're told that the major shakeup happened after the founder saw the state his company ended up in. The question is whether
that's probably why they were trying to do cash flow. Is they didn't want the people that actually own the company to find out that this was happening. So they tried to make all of the different balance sheets and everything look like they were normal. That's probably what was happening. That's probably also why they were changing the profits around, so they could just blame the NA branch and not basically get called out for this.
slate to correct
Hide the
course.
red? Yeah, basically.
Also appointed that CEO. So we have to question whether he's capable of identifying the deep cultural problems that appear to be present within the company, and that's outside of just a payment problem. In order to pay its dues, two sources familiar with EK's internal goings-on right now have told us that EK is considering selling one of its buildings. This could potentially be a leaseback situation or just an instant influx of cash. That's some of the suppliers we spoke with said that they are actually changing their terms of agreement with EK, and that EK will have to use a potentially cash method, upfront method, rather than
Credit.
effectively line of credit.
Yeah.
A net 30, net 60.
Well, that's what happens, right? Is like usually, and like if people are doing business with you, a lot of times like they'll let you keep doing business, but yeah, they've got to get the money first. Absolutely, yeah. Upfront is brutal. Yeah, exactly.
Previously. Likewise, from speaking with EK's staff, current and former, the company would need to immediately begin communicating what it expects in terms of when it can make payments to its partners and its staff. EK, if you're watching, instead of being pissed off, what I would suggest, just talking openly here, is you listen to them. Because every single person who currently works there with whom we spoke all voiced the same thing, which was, I would really like it if they tell me there's a delay and when it will end, rather than operating in silence. The companies...
I think that this really, like, do you guys agree with me whenever I'm saying that, like, I think that they're doing this to obscure the fact that they're mismanaging the company from the ownership? Because everything that I see here seems like that's the case. And the only other circumstance that I think it could make sense for is if they were trying to get loans or investment, but at least so far there hasn't been any evidence of that.
Buyers getting screwed, it's not great. But a company can probably sell an $80,000 debt if it's dealing on the order of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Cost of doing business. They suck, they didn't pay us, we'll learn from that and not make that mistake again. Individuals, though, who have no alternative source of income other than the company,
they have to.
That's where
they have to come to the table.
Taken extremely seriously, and communication is key.
Well, it's fucking illegal.
We've been told by multiple staff that they are struggling with things like mortgage payments, rent, being able to plan their lives outside of work. And that is because of exceptionally late payments. We are talking here on a scale of months. The common number I would say
oh my god,
4 months for most of these individuals. EK, interestingly, just
and this is kind of like what happens also I think with a lot of these companies is that the companies start doing badly and then they manage the decline badly, which causes them to manage the further decline even worse, right? So it's like this vicious cycle of bad management leading to bad situations that are badly managed with more bad management, badly managing, bad situations
sorry you had
that are
to
caused by
listen to
bad
Asmongold
management, right? It's a snowball,
this whole
right?
time.
And so it's like at the beginning, they're
But
probably just trying to
holy
buy a little
shit,
bit of
that was
extra
crazy.
product and, you know, make sure that things are fine. And then after from this brand.
Impressive. This isn't a sewer anymore. It's a tomb.
See? I knew it! Sacrament stands because of me!
It wasn't your place, Serum, to make a deal with a prisoner. Nor perhaps my place to let you. But don't worry. He was never out of our sight.
Tell them, Serum. I honored our deal. And an hero deserves an hero's pardon.
Sacrament doesn't bargain with murderers. You're headed for hard labor at the Mountain Gate, by order of the Madrigal.
You shit-smiling bastard!
And you? Well, I think we understand each other, Serum. You and I, we do what needs to be done. Consider yourself a citizen of Sacrament. You've defended this city. Now, you may make it your home.
That much easier to find you later.
Oh, jeez. You guys not happy with me? Nice. Can buy a home now. Like, knew I had to get this boss done so I can get the house. I feel like things are gonna get easier once I can store things. And have different tools.